only love can do that. Darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the guiding lights at NMIMS who have kindled the flame of learning, resilience, and creativity amongst our students. Please welcome the academic procession. All of you are requested to rise and be seated only after the dignitaries on the dais take their seats. It's my privilege to announce the members gracing the academic procession today. Mr. Shrikant Subramanian, CEO Coated Cherry, and the chief guest for the day, Honorable Shri Shalin Devetia, nominee of the Chancellor, NMIMS deemed to be University, Honorable Dr. Ramesh Bhatt, Vice Chancellor, NMIMS University, Honorable Dr. Sharad Maiskar, Pro Vice Chancellor, NMIMS University, Honorable Dr. Meena Chantamanini, Pro Vice Chancellor, NMIMS University, Dr. Ashish Daptardar, IC Registrar, NMIMS University, the office bearers of SVKM, Dr. Prashant Mishra, Dean SVKM NMIMS School of Business Management, Deans and Directors of the other schools, Associate Deans, Chairpersons, faculty members, Dr. Ashish Daptardar, IC Registrar, leads the procession. Kindly welcome your faculty with a big round of applause. I request all of you to be seated now. A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I, Professor Papia De, welcome you all to Convocation 2023 of SVKM's and NMIMS School of Business Management. I now request our support staff to please play a video to brief you on the security and safety arrangements of this auditorium.
Safety video for NMIMS Mukesh Patel Auditorium.
Hello everybody, I am Pramanand Angre, Fire and Safety Officer for SVKM and NMIMS. I am here to guide you on Mukesh Patel Auditorium safety exits.
There are a total of 8 doors and 6 exits. Both middle exits will take you to the same outer area. At all times, on each exit, safety personnel and ushers are always there to guide you in case of an emergency. Your safety is our responsibility. Do not panic. Stay calm. Do not run. Follow the given instructions. It is not safe to wander on your own. Now, let's get out from each exit. For audiences sitting in the front or middle, you have exits on your right and left. A total of 4 doors. Choose comfortably. Once you are out from your left, take left and walk straight till the end. Cross the passage. Take another left. You will come to an area where you will find stairs and escalators. For people coming from the right exit, once you are out, you too will come to the same area. In case, due to safety reasons, if escalators are shut down, then use them as stairs, and from both right and left, you will come up to this common area, which is the way out. For people at the back, take the nearest door to you, come out, take left, cross the passage, take left. You will come directly to the common area. Likewise, for dignitaries and performing participants or people on or backstage, they also have 2 exits. If you are facing the audience, then at your right, this is the exit. Move out, take right, walk straight and take the stairs. Similarly, from your left, come out and take the same stairs to go out. You are safely out from all exits. At NMIMS, safety is our biggest priority. So you will see signage, fire extinguishers, open spaces, and proper adequate exits for your convenience.
I hope this video has helped you to understand the emergency exits. Thank you and be safe.
Thank you, Mr. Angre. It is the wisdom of light that dispels the ignorance of darkness. To begin the convocation on an auspicious note, let us invoke the blessings of the goddess of learning and arts, Ma Saraswati, as we light the inaugural lamp. May I now request our honorable chief guest, Mr. Shrikant Subramanian, and all the dignitaries on the dais to please come forward and light the ceremonial lamp. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly remain standing for the lighting of the ceremonial lamp. Request you to play the
kundendu tusharahara dhavala ya shubhravastranvita ya veenam varadandamandita या श्वेत पद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युत शंकर प्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा पूजिता सरस्वती भगवती निशेषजाड्यापहा।
Thank you. Please remain standing for the NMIMS anthem.
Safety video for NMIM.
Be
You may take your seats now. Thank you. May I now request our IC Registrar, Dr. Ashish Daptardar, to take over the proceedings.
Good morning, everyone. I request Shri Shalinbhai Devetia, nominee of Honorable Chancellor of SVKM's NMIMS University, to declare Convocation 2023 open.
Hello. I hereby declare the Convocation 2023 open.
I now request the nominee of the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Shri Shalin Devetia, to felicitate our chief guest, Mr. Shrikant Subramanian, with a bouquet and a memento as a token of our appreciation and gratitude. Thank you, sir. May I now request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Ramesh Bhatt, to deliver his welcome address.
Well, chief guest of the day, Mr. Shrikant Subramanian, CEO Kotak Cherry, a platform of the Kotak Mahindra Bank for the digital business platform. And he's also our alumni of the batch 2001. And welcome to the SBM NIMS, your alma mater. Shri Shalin Devetia ji, Honorary Joint Secretary of the SVKM Trust, SBM mentor and nominee of the Honorable Chancellor. Sir, I also welcome you to join the graduating batch to celebrate their success. Our Pro-Vice Chancellors, Dr. Sharad Maheshkar and Dr. Meena Chintamanini, Dr. Ashish Daptardar, Registrar, Officiating Registrar of the University, Dr. Prashant Mishra, the Dean of the SBM, Mr. Ashish Apte, Controller of Examination, Honorable Members of the Board of Management, advisors to the Honorable Chancellor, distinguished faculty and staff members, dear graduating students, parents and relatives, perhaps watching the live streaming of this function. Very good morning to all of you. I welcome everyone to this graduation ceremony of the SBM class of 2023. A big applause for your grand achievement. My heartfelt congratulations to all the students who are graduating today. Today we celebrate the culmination of years of your hard work, dedication, and perseverance. Every end is but a new beginning for all of us. Today marks the culmination of a significant milestone in your life. It also signals the start of a fresh and exciting chapter filled with infinite possibilities and boundless opportunities. We know that the future is always unknown, and there are many unknowables factors, but we all also know that the future is always filled with the limitless potential. The accomplishment today marks a successful and proud entry, your proud entry into your future endeavors. I'm sure that you will have incredible opportunities that will undoubtedly shape your future. So let us celebrate this momentous occasion with great optimism and embark on the new journey with courage and grace. As you embark on your journey, I extend my best wishes, hoping that each one of you finds a feeling of contentment and pride in everything you do in your life. I'm sure your great efforts and achievements will help you achieve great things. Your credentials will take you to much higher places, and I'm sure that you will prove yourself and contribute to making the world a better place. Convocation time, in some sense, is also a time to reflect on your journey that has brought you to this stage. 2 years back, you decided to join this extraordinary institution to explore and enrich yourself. At that time, at the time of your joining in 2021, to be precise, on 7th June 2021, we were still in a pandemic stage. I vividly remember you were joining the SBM virtually through the WebEx platform and starting your online orientation sessions for 2 weeks, and where the greeting message used to be, "Am I audible?" And that continued for quite some time. I know that starting your program in 2021, in the midst of the pandemic which we were going through, you faced quite unique challenges along the way. But you have all persevered. Your resilience and determination have made a marked difference in your life to take your journey to this very moment. We are glad that we are having your convocation in person. This is a proud moment for all of us. Your graduation today is victory in many senses to you, coming out of catastrophe, consistently learning and growing. Today you graduate from this university as an enriched person with outstanding achievements. You graduate someone having gone through a rigorous curriculum and after testing yourself. During your learning journey, you engrossed yourself in exploring the process of decision making, understanding the context, imbibing contemporary thinking, and advanced technology, learning from the past, envisioning the future, and redefining and putting forward your value-creating responses. Your training in critical thinking, I'm sure, will help you to contemplate on multiple diverse planes. This is a skill, and your ability to juggle between opposite thinking processes, which will give you an edge in delivering socially relevant solutions. Your inclusive approach and your commitment characterizes NMIMS University. Your training has helped you to imbibe evolved communication strategy focusing on visual, oral, written, graphical, akin to something metaverse, to translate your ideas into reality. You have all the skills to develop unique syntax and the language, not only to communicate your ideas to others, but also to ideate and develop new concepts and effective solutions. You graduate someone who understands the importance of collaborative process and working with empathy. Your parents must be delighted today, and NIMS University gratefully acknowledges their contribution to making it possible for you to reach to this stage. As we look forward to the future, it is important to remember the lessons we have learned and experiences that have shaped us. These experiences will guide you and help you to navigate the path ahead, and with all of its twists and turns. Always remember that wherever you go and whatever you do, your actions will be like your fingerprints, proof of where you have been and what you have touched. SBM as it has added value not only to your learning journey, but it also has added to the footprints of the university. I must say that you are going out in the world with excellent NMIMS credentials. So let us celebrate this moment together and take the first steps towards the future with courage, determination, and commitment for excellence. Well, the initial phase of your graduation started during the pandemic, as I was mentioning, in the month of June 2021. The experience turned out to be quite unprecedented for all of us, and the pandemic required us to confront challenges on so many dimensions. NMIMS, like all institutions across the globe, confronted with this unusual, extraordinary situation. The pandemic required us to teach, learn, and work remotely, at least in the 2021, in term 1, term 2, and part of the term 3. We, in some sense, experienced the real VUCA world. Perhaps if this word was not invented in 1980s, it would have been invented now. We interacted with you, most of you, through our synchronous and asynchronous virtual learning approaches, and we remained conscious of making the learning process highly engaging and effective. Your first 2 trimesters, term 1 and term 2, and half of the term 3, was entirely in virtual mode on the Zoom platform. Frankly speaking, we also discovered the existence of Zoom around the same time when you joined this institution, though the Zoom has been in existence for the last 14-15 years. We conducted your end-term examination for Trim 1 and Trim 2 through the student portal. I hope you still remember the experience you have gone through. And your post-midterm in Term 3 in 2022, things improved, and we moved to in-person classes with some sessions beginning in hybrid mode, and your summer placements were also completed in virtual mode. Despite all these odds, your batch has been able to achieve the highest average salary so far in the history of SBM. And congratulations to all of you. And record PPUs of 37%. In fact, sitting in 2017-18, when under the mentorship of Sri Shalin Bhai, we were drawing some blueprint for the SBM, how to progress in future. We had set 2 objectives for ourselves. One is that our placements, pre-placement offer should be 80% by the year 2028. And second, our average salary should be 80% of IIM Ahmedabad. And we were just reviewing the performance a couple of weeks back, and we are very close to these targets. And I'm sure that we will be achieving the 80% pre-placement offers in next couple of years of time. Well, with your joining the SBM in 2021, as I mentioned that we were in quite a challenging position at that point in time, and it was a kind of an emergency situation for all of us, for academicians, for VC office, for the administrative staff. But I am very happy that everyone rose to a critical leadership position. And I am proud that we all worked together and supported each other, and wherever needed, engaged in problem solving and coming up with the innovative solutions to deal with the challenges effectively. And I believe we have many reasons to have enormous pride in how we all handled the challenges and this change. And believe me, I think most of our technological innovations in the university and several initiatives towards the digital transformation and handling all our processes in a digital formats came after you were joining the SBM in 2021. I'll just narrate a couple of the experiences which I am sure you have been part of this, and it has also given us great strength to move forward and do many more innovations in the university processes. Your online exams and resolve to remain engaged in the online learning process and ensure we implement the academic continuity plan, which means that your progression, your promotions, your placements, summer placements at the time, they are not affected. But we use the virtual, synchronous, asynchronous modes very effectively to handle this situation. Borrowing from blockchain concept, you still perhaps remember, and maybe you will remember throughout your life, a concept of hashtag which we introduced to ensure your assignments and examination submissions are safe and reach us with varied experiences of internet, broadband, and Wi-Fi, and ensuring we complete all our evaluation and assessments on time. One of the things I was very proud of that we introduced this hashtag innovation, which I think solved most of our problems, making it sure that all your assignments are received intact. The school also moved significantly on the digitization front to strengthen their assurance of learning, which I'm sure that you have been the beneficiary of the assurance of learning system. We strengthened the implementation of the elective portal and ensured that you all get your favorite electives without any hassle and without any problems. Placement portal and taking the best advantage of the digitization process, it was one of the hallmarks of the implementation. And also, during your time in that year, we also took the advantage of building about our alumni portal, which I'm sure that most of you will become as the member and will start using it today onwards. All these innovations, approaches we could implement because of your active engagement involvement. And it gave us a lot of encouragement when we were implementing like hashtag system, our teaching methodologies, synchronous, asynchronous methods, and it was really very heartening and very encouraging for us also to initiate many such steps to strengthen our academic process. Well, I thank all of you, your parents, and all our stakeholders wholeheartedly supporting the academic continuity plan, particularly in 2021 and part of the 22, which the VC office under the leadership of Shri Amrishbhai Patel and Shri Shalin Devetia put in place. We also followed one innovative approach about which I'll talk a little bit, called the distributed leadership model, and we implemented through the distributed leadership model quite effectively. The support received from everyone, students, faculty, staff, all the university departments, and our determination and resolve demonstrated our resilience and leading from the front. I must acknowledge the tremendous support you and your parents provided to the university in these difficult times, and we remain grateful to their support. I must say that to our best, we ensured the continuity of our activities without impacting your progression, your career prospects, and ensured the continuity in our activities in a very severe disruption situation with a very bold and courageous face. Well, we learned in the process that disruption and change are nothing but becoming different. Your learning experience while at the NMMS must have altered your perceptions about the world and yourself. Your learning will continue to be the lens through which you see the world and handle the change with resilience. Remember that change and disruption are omnipresent. It will transcend you, build you, and most of all, help you grow. Seize the change and the disruption. I'm just going to briefly give you 4 life lessons we learned in the process of handling the disruption and the change, which still I think we are going through. First is the lesson which we learned is regarding that it is very important to understand the context to decode the disruption, particularly when you are facing the disruption situation and such kind of an situation which we experience. Understanding of the context plays a very important role. The way we understand the context now has never been the same as before. I was, during that time, reminded of an old clip on understanding of the context by Professor Sumantra Ghoshal, late Sumantra Ghoshal, who is the management guru. He produced a clip called The Smell of the Place, which he describes as the understanding the context. And we realized that it is very crucial to comprehend the context when faced by this severe disruption. He suggested that examining 4 aspects in the context: constraints, compliances, control, and contract, if one wants to have the better handle on the context. But at the same time, he mentioned that these elements can impede creativity, result in cumbersome systems, damage collegial functioning, and create limiting contract-based relationships. And he has given a very beautiful explanation that if you have to handle the disruption situation, what could be the most possible alternate way to looking at these 4 C's, which is the constraints, compliances, control, and contracts. To foster an environment that encourages desirable behavior, particularly in most difficult circumstances, Professor Ghoshal recommends creating a set of values based on 4 principles. He says that use the concept or value of stretch instead of constraints. Use discipline instead of compliances. Focus on support rather than control. And focus on trust rather than contract-based relationships. I think when we were grappling with the situation in 2020-21, I think this narrative came very handy and helped us to put a lot of elements in the system which were based on this stretch, discipline, support, and trust. And I am sure that I think going forward, if you also look at the kind of turbulent situations we face today in the industry, you will find, I think this narrative can be very handy and very useful. The second lesson which I think we are very proud of at the NIMS is the teamwork and the distributive leadership model and imbibing the concept of I am because we are. You see, once you are into the kind of an crisis situation, the only way to come out of that crisis is supporting each other and promoting the volunteerism. And I think that is the best way to come out of this situation, particularly like the pandemic and the kind of an consequences it had. And you can certainly minimize many of the unintended consequences of the pandemic which we were facing. In that times, as like say for example when we were doing the exams or trying to make sure that we receive all your evaluations and assignments safely, it led us to thinking that what could be the possible innovative solutions which will help us to solve this kind of a problem, the kind of a concept of hashtag and the kind of a concept of virtual methods which we implemented. We must remember that when we face disruption, we are not alone in the process. We are all together. The key is how we can learn from each other and grow together. That is the kind of a key. And we must always remember that our existence is centered on the idea of interconnectedness. You are all in the system as one, and you have to really solve that problem together. The third lesson which we learned was the concept of harnessing positive attitude practices. And this is the concept which came out of our experience in the VUCA world. When we were facing this situation, and we have been, I think, on interactions on the Zoom and everywhere, talking about the VUCA situation, which is volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous kind of a situation. But at the same time, I think it was not just the external VUCA we faced, we also faced a lot of internal VUCA. And I personally know at many students' end, the kind of difficult situations and the inner VUCA situations they were facing. Now we emerged out of this situation, particularly having a couple of interesting positive attitude tests, which I have been talking to the students for last 2-3 years. As we move forward, make sure dealing with volatility, V is the first word in the VUCA. When you deal with the volatility, you developed an attitude of responding and not reacting. And as a student of management, I'm sure that now you know that what is the difference between responding and reacting. Handling uncertainty, which is the second term in the VUCA, make sure that you are not allowing your fears to avoid taking risks. And I think a lot we learned in the process that we have to ensure that learning to learn is our motto. Learn, unlearn, and relearn is our goal. Even after we were hit by the pandemic 2021, 22, even till date, I end up spending almost 30% of my time on looking at the new technologies and new approaches to handle the situations. So it has become now the part of the goal of the life that you have to keep on learning. There is no escape from that. The third word is the complexity. Ensure you are able to see and perceive with clarity. Your critical thinking skills will help you link and develop an interconnected framework of critical variables. And that is the only way to deal with the third component of the VUCA term, which is on the complexity. On the fourth term, which is ambiguity, make sure that you spend some time on contemplation and meditation to quiet your mind enough to make meaning to handle the ambiguity. I think this is something very critical. I'm sure that if you look at these, if you put your knowledge and the skills through these 4 positive attitude tests, your inner VUCA challenges will be your superpower to take you forward. And the last lesson, of course, which we learned in this process was that how to harness the technology, which I think played a very important role in our lives. As you embark on your professional journey, I would like to emphasize the importance of creating focus on technology. The world is rapidly changing, and technology is at the forefront of this transformation. It is shaping the way we live, work, and interact with each other. The advancements in the technology have led to the disruption and existing businesses and the creation of new industries. You are joining the industry at a time when some significant changes are unfolding before us. The application of AI has unleashed a series of disruptive changes. Several initiatives started in the last few years are coming to fruition, and they are going to change the world and how the businesses will be managed. A significant change is unfolding before us. We are stepping into new opportunities created by the AI, ChatGPT-4, and 5G. On the front of the AI, ChatGPT-4, which seems to be the one of the major disruptor, which is going to be the major disruptors, the scientists are today in the process of testing various levels of cognitive capabilities and intelligence of the AI and ChatGPT-4. And these tests are based on the concepts of vision, theory of mind, coding, mathematics, affordance, privacy, and ability to 3-4 dimensions on which this is being tested, like reason, solving problems, think abstractly, comprehend complete ideas, learning quickly, and learning from experience. The only test which the AI and ChatGPT right now is not able to pass is that how to plan and think in terms of the developing a plan which is several steps in advance. But I'm sure that the way it is advancing, this aspect, I think, will be also covered. I have a couple of, I think, advice to all of you based on my personal experience and somebody who is engaged with this process deeply. Focus on 3 capabilities when you go in forward in future. One is what I call the tangible capabilities, which is basically ability to understand the data, which is internal or external, ability to maneuver through the idea to understand processes, which in many senses defines the culture at the workplace. And unless you decode the culture and the processes, I think your journey in the digital transformation is not complete. Second is harnessing the managerial capabilities to handle the technology, basically by developing the analytical acumen, thinking in terms of the data, linking it with the processes, which is, I think, one very critical and important aspect, and understanding the interconnectedness. If one is not able to link the digital innovations or digital processes with the way the organization functions and is not able to put up these interconnectedness, I think it will seriously hamper the progress in making you a digital acumen kind of a person. And third is the intangible capabilities, which is harnessing the data-driven cultures. I think it's very important that how do we change our mindsets to make sure that we become highly data-driven in terms of our decisions, which are based on the data instead of intuitions on hearsay. The intensity of the organizational learning, particularly in terms of the ability to explore, store, share, and apply knowledge. I think these are many intangibles. Unless these are harnessed, the transformation which we expect through the digital introductions is going to be quite challenging. Well, having said this, on this day, we fondly share our achievements and future aspirations with all our graduating students. NIMMS is a 4-decade-old premier university in India. Over these years, university has emerged as one of the most credible institutions of higher learning, as reflected by several rankings, ratings, stakeholder confidence, and reputation. SBM was ranked in the top 100 global business schools by the FT ranking in the category of Masters in Management program. And congratulations to all of you. When we received these results, we were really proud that on certain counts, we really have done much better than our competitors. Like, say, I just narrate a couple of them. On career progressions, we ranked 27th in the world. And overall satisfaction of our alums was 8.34 on a scale of 10. We felt very happy. And SBM also emerged as the school with the highest female faculty ratio in the world. So congratulations to our women power at the School of Business Management. I remember celebrating this achievement in the quadrangle by singing some memorable songs. I hope some of you were there present at that point in time. I would just like to remind you that this FT feedback, FT ranking feedback is a very important feedback because it is based on the survey of alumni who passed out from the institutions 3 years back. Which means that the alumni who passed out in 2020 gave us this feedback that their aims and the value for the money, their career progression have been excellent after getting the education from the SBM. I'm sure years from now, after 3 years, when the FT is going to contact you, you will surpass these benchmarks. Have I your promise on this? Excellent. SBM is also AACSCB accredited business school, and we are proud that we are able to retain the accreditation, AACSCB accreditation in the second cycle of 5 years. It has brought us a lot of goodwill, and a lot of our global partnerships are based on the AACSCB accreditation. And also, it has really helped us to strengthen our internal academic processes through the assurance of learning system. SBM is also making a good progress on the way to get the EQUIS accreditation. And in the year or so, I think you will have also good news about the EQUIS accreditation, maybe down the year. What we aim at for the triple accreditation school in India. Well, I just promise you that we continue to strive best. Our new path is to reinvent ourselves and invent new things. We are determined to pursue our goals of knowledge creation and enhancing teaching and learning, making NIMS known for the best academic excellence and most preferred institution of learning, and making it sure that we meet the aspirations of all our stakeholders. Well, few last words I would like to say. While pursuing our strategy, we are conscious of the fact that the highest goals of management have transitioned from profit maximization principles to a mission of value creation with integrity and being ESG sensitive in the current times. Given the infinite variety of business situations that we can be, as varied as life itself, the purpose of management is to improve human life by creating value with integrity. The endeavors must be sensible, deriving from the central idea of the nature, flowering into a beautiful entity, and being ESG compliant. All along, whenever your roles transition from your current leadership position, make sure ethical value creation is always your North Star to guide you. I'm sure that in MMS you also had the brilliant exposure to the civil engagement We Care program that would have, I think, given you a lot of wisdom in terms of the power of the community. Do not ever forget this lesson. Make it mission of your life to find and build community wherever and whenever you can. But years from now, when you look back, I assure you that you will feel nothing but proud of your alma mater. We shall soon welcome you as the proud alumni of the SBM today. Now, since the initial phase of your program was driven virtually through synchronous and asynchronous approaches, and having learning experience from remote and attending online classes, well, I may suggest that you may like to recreate some of the lost experience which you had in the first year of your joining the SBM. How? You may consider visiting us as frequently as you can, and I assure you that soothing piano tunes of Bach and Beethoven will greet you at the quadrangle during the lunchtime. You may spend some time having a view of lovely sunset from one of the corners of the lounge, or visit the Juhu beach, or join me or your favorite faculty for vada pav or a cup of coffee at the Prithvi Theatre around the corner. But I am sure that wherever you go, you will create your own music parallel to that of Bach and Beethoven. And you will make it point to see sunrise and sunsets once in a while. And when you feel lost in the entangled web of the challenges, know the way out is very simple. Speak to your family, friends, and teachers. Well, do good things in life and make sure you create a legacy, and one day you can say with pride that you did extraordinary things. Always remember, the school is yours, the university is yours, and it will always be yours. God bless you all. Farewell and all the best. बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं to all of you.
Thank you, sir. I'm sure your enlightening words and your lessons around the 4 C's will help our graduating students to curate a better future and carve a unique path for themselves. May I now invite Dr. Prashant Mishra, Dean, SVKM NMIMS School of Business Management, to present the annual roundup for the academic year 22-23.
Chief Guest Sri Srikant Subramaniam, CEO Kotak Cherry, Sri Shalin Bhai Divetia, nominee of the Honorable Chancellor and mentor of School of Business Management, Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Ramesh Bhatt, Pro Vice Chancellors Dr. Sharad Maiskar and Dr. Meena Chintamaneni, our Registrar in Charge Dr. Ashish Daptardar, Controller of Examinations Sri Ashish Apte, members of the Board of Management, members of the Trust and advisors, and dear graduating students, parents, family members, fellow deans and directors of the school in the university, my faculty colleagues, members of the staff at the university and the School of Business Management and other guests, and our distinguished alums present in the audience today. It gives me immense joy and honor to share our school's accomplishment in this academic year with you, the stakeholders and well-wishers, so that all of you remain assured that the responsibilities that has been given to us are being carried out satisfactorily. It is also my duty to acknowledge that our progress and achievement would not have been possible without the wholehearted involvement and support of our stakeholders. On behalf of the SPM community, I extend my sincere gratitude to our Honorable Chancellor, Sri Amrish Patel, for his guidance and support, our mentor, Sri Shalinbhai Divetia, university leadership, including our Vice Chancellor and Pro-Vice Chancellors, Controller of Examination, Admissions and Career Advisory teams for their continued support and encouragement. The year 2022-23 has been a remarkable year for SBM in many ways. The school came back to post-COVID normalcy after 2 years of unprecedented disruption. As we emerged from one of the most trying times the world has seen in near past, School of Business Management has a lot to celebrate for the all-round achievement and laurels the school has received this year. Today, amongst the programs, there are 4 PhD scholars who would be graduating. In the MBA program, 578 graduating students with 11 of the students would be awarded and recognized for their scholastic performance. In MBA Pharmaceutical Management, we have 92 graduating students today, and 5 of them would be awarded for their scholastic performances. MBA Human Resources, we have 120 graduating students, and 8 of them would receive their awards and honors for their scholastic performance. In addition to these 3 programs, I'm happy to share with you that the school also introduced a new program focused on healthcare concentration this year, which is MBA Healthcare Management. On the curriculum front, with our focus on academic excellence, we undertook an intensive review of our program curriculum and completely revised and restructured our curriculum for all programs and implemented the revised curriculum at the beginning of 22-23. The new curriculum reflected the realities of the future of work and new age organizations. More than 30 new courses and specialized workshops have been introduced in the MBA program. On similar lines, more than 20 new courses and workshops in MBA Pharmaceutical Management and 3 new courses and workshops in MBA Human Resource Management program. All these new content focused on digital technologies and its role in business transformation, emerging tools in artificial intelligence and machine learning, big data, and its role in bringing analytical rigor to decision making, and renewed focus on issues concerning environment, sustainability, and governance. Related content for the old and new age businesses. And all these content occupies now significant bandwidth in the revised curriculum. Our continued focus on imparting impactful education to our young graduates in order to prepare them for the life ahead with right set of skills and competencies is driven by our commitment to the assurance of learning, which our Vice Chancellor talked about. Like every other year, this year too, our graduating students have done us proud by balancing the demands of academic rigor of the program with their participation in various co-curricular and extracurricular activities and the many laurels they brought home. They have won prizes in the national events such as the Governance Challenge organized by the Government of Haryana, Asian Paint Canvas, HSBC IB League, GE Healthcare, and also prestigious internal events such as L'Oreal Brandstorm and Global Management Challenge. They have also participated with equal measure in the sports and cultural event and thus adding important dimensions of experience to campus life at SBM. The excellent career outcomes for the graduating batch are a testimony to the continued trust reposed by the recruiters in our graduates and the learnings and skill development which we impart to them. More than 158 companies visited the campus for MBA program, out of which 47 were the first-time recruiter and 61 belonged to the Fortune 500 prestigious lists. 53 companies for the MBA Human Resource program, 26 new and 25 of them belong to the Fortune 500 list. And more than 20 firms recruited from our MBA Pharma program. Not only has the number of recruiting firm increased this year, the average and the median compensation offered also grown in double digits. And some of those details our Vice Chancellor already talked about. Let me come to one of the most critical aspect of any institutional existence, and that is knowledge creation. Research and collaborations at SBM has also intensified through our efforts in the last year to further build the culture of research. With our eyes set on making an impact through thought leadership and knowledge creation through research, which has taken a pivotal role, in addition to ongoing initiatives such as Thursday Research Seminars, the SBM hosted INDAM 2023 annual conference, which is one of India's largest and most prestigious gathering of management researchers and educators. And it saw participation from 400 plus scholars from India, which include all the leading institutions, and 15 countries across the globe, including several leading thinkers and researchers in the field of management research. As a substantive outcome of this conference, a multi-volume research monograph is due to be published in coming months, which contains 60 peer-reviewed selected papers presented at the conference. This gave further momentum to aspiration of SBM to be known as a center of research excellence too. The research output of the school has surpassed previous years, both in terms of quality and quantity. More than 50 research publications in journals of international and national repute as per the ABDC and Scopus listings. Out of these, 11 publications were in ABDC A star and A, which in academic circles is considered the gold list for academic research output publications, which is testimony of the intellectual and thought leadership impact our faculty continuing to make. The faculty who led and contributed to these high quality publications, and I wish to name some of them: Professor Veena Vora, Preeti Nayal, Professor Abhinav Sharma, Professor Amrita Bansal, Professor Hitesh Kalro, Professor Mayank Joshipura, Payal Trivedi, Roj Antony, Sayantan Khanra, Smriti Pandey, and Professor Manisha Sarma. Including these, almost 2/3 of the school's faculty are actively contributing to the school's research footprint and thought leadership trajectory. These outputs are even more laudable because they truly epitomize the spirit of collaboration and cross-functional teamwork across geographies. Please join me in applauding their effort once again. SBM's research activity has also seen a consistent uptick in the participation by the international faculty as well. Faculty also published authored books, book chapters, case study, and several popular articles in newspapers and publications of repute. 9 faculty members are working on funded research project, which includes both internal and external funding. A special mention is the project sponsored by World Bank and Government of Tamil Nadu and is being executed in collaboration with IIT Madras and SBM and MIMS. The project titled Managing and Sustaining Accreditation for Transforming Healthcare in Public Setting, Evidence from Tamil Nadu, is being anchored from SBM end by Professor Subramania Rajsolochana and Professor Sayantan Khanra. If we look at our progress in basic and applied research for over last 5 years, I can say with confidence that we have made stupendous progress, and this has been recognized by the ASCSB visiting peer review team, who had singled out our research journey as one of the success endeavor for the school in last 5 years. The faculty's efforts have been lauded by several accreditation and ranking agencies. Our Vice Chancellor just talked about some of them, about Financial Times as well as ASCSB, and has contributed to the strategic success of the schools. Faculty also achieved some recognition from outside agencies for their professional contribution and professional standing. Dr. Chandrama Sikdar, Professor and Associate Dean, and Dr. Meena Galyara, Professor and Director, Jasani Center for Social Entrepreneurship and Sustainability, featured in Professor Indra Parekh 50 Women Education Leaders at the World Education Congress in 22-23. Professor Binesh Nair has been recognized to be among top 10 most prominent academicians in the field of analytics and data science by Analytics India magazine for the year 22. For the interest of time, I would not get into the details of our rankings and accreditation. Our Vice Chancellor shared some of the information, but of course in the school's 40 years of history, this is first time the program, the MBA program, got recognized by an international ranking agency, and we, in our first attempt itself, we catapulted in the top 100 master's program in non-experience master's program globally. And that some of the details which Dr. Bhatt shared about career progression, diversity amongst our faculty, and also satisfaction of our alumni has been really satisfying outcomes for all of us. And this recognition is also salient proof of the impact the school has its on stakeholders' career. And at SBM, we are constantly striving to achieve even higher standards of excellence in our teaching, learning, research processes through various initiatives. And as I shared with you yesterday, as part of this accreditation journey, our We Care civic engagement program has got the global recognition amongst 900 plus accredited schools by AACSB across 60 countries, which is identified as a curriculum innovation that inspired a recognition from AACSB. Before I conclude, I wish to share two thoughts or advice as you may wish to see it. One of the questions always which bogging generations of today is that how do we remain relevant in a highly dynamic and fast changing environment such as today and the near future. A lot of researches, prophecies, doomsday prophecies are being talked about the way technology is evolving. Several educationist, consulting experts, researchers repeatedly argue that almost 2/3 of the kind of jobs which exist today may not exist tomorrow. And as much as in one report I saw the phrase they use that the kids who are in higher secondary today probably may not see the jobs which are existing today while they graduate and go out for the job market. Now, whether you believe or not believe, I look at it from this angle that transformations of this order, only the speed and scale had changed, but these transformations have always been there. We have moved from Stone Age to Agri Age to Industrial Age, and Industrial Age to Information Age. Maybe we are moving at a much higher scale and a much higher speed, but human race survives. There have been enough examples or evidences from the past that there are certain skills and competencies, as long as we continue to focus on those skills and competencies, we will find a way to survive. Think of people who survived those ages. The answer lies in several longitudinal researches which has demonstrated that there are certain skills that have timeless significance. Critical thinking, creativity, people management, collaboration, judgment and decision making, cognitive flexibility. Curriculum at SPM attempted to just do that, equip you with the knowledge, skills and competencies which will keep you in good stead, both today and tomorrow, and to keep you future ready always. On a more personal note, an advice from the teacher in me. As you navigate the journey called life from here on, choose carefully and wisely, especially your role models, people whom you look up to for anything and everything. These are the people whose life and deeds would be your guiding posts to help you along on this voyage as they tiptoe into your subconsciousness and impact your behavior. And believe me, these need not be celebrities. These would be people around you in your everyday life. For me, it was my grandfather, for values I imbibed as a human being of integrity, resilience, and a sense of kinship, and also a sense of duty to community. My teachers who instilled a sense of professional acumen and work ethics such as rigor and purposefulness, and my colleagues with whom I work every day and see them succeeding repeatedly through the teamwork and organizational citizenship. I am sure you have people around you, including your parents, family members, friends, who are living examples of the virtues which makes one succeed. As you graduate today, your convocation marks not the end of the journey, but commencement of a new trajectory of your life. In the words of Socrates, education is the kindling of a flame, not the filling of a vessel. And I believe my faculty colleagues at SBM have kindled that flame, and it will light your path forever. I also hope that you will continue to uphold the values of discipline, compassion, transparency, a sense of responsibility and accountability. In a short while from now, you will become a member of the school's alumni cohort, and I sincerely hope that in the days to come, you will act as a worthy goodwill ambassador for your alma mater and continue connecting with us throughout your professional lives. In conclusion, it has been a deeply satisfying and rewarding year for the School of Business Management on several fronts. However, as our mission statement focuses on nurturing of transformational leaders who can responsibly create stakeholder value with integrity, We believe that we have a lot of ground to cover in order to create a life-changing experience for our students and other stakeholders. And we cannot afford to rest on our laurels. And on that count, I wish to assure you that the faculty and staff colleagues at SBM continue to strive hard to impart the education which prepares the young ones like you for the future ahead. And we are confident that you will conduct yourself in ways which is going to make our world a better place in different ways, large or small. I and my colleagues at SBM have no doubt whatsoever that you are all going to do well, aided by the learning you have gathered at SBM during the time you spent with us. I once again sincerely thank the leadership of the university, members of the faculty and staff, our alumni, and all of you, dear students, for your contribution and your wholehearted support. I wish all the very best to you for your career and life ahead. Keep shining and stay blessed. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mishra, for the crisp summary of SBM's achievements and acknowledging your faculty team and its contribution. May I now request Dr. Mayank Joshipura, Associate Dean Research and Program Chairperson of the PhD program, to take the proceedings forward.
Thank you, Professor Papiade. Nominee of Honorable Chancellor Shri Shalin Devetia, I present before you the students who have passed the PhD program and have registered for this convocation and are present here. I request nominee of Honorable Chancellor Shri Shalin Devetia to kindly hand over the degrees to the students. I request Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Ramesh Bhatt and Dean SBM Dr. Prashant Mishra to join him. Damle Madhvi. Her thesis topic is Influence of Innovation Framework on Organizational Performance. Shah Nayan. His thesis topic is Factors Affecting Profitability in Residential Real Estate in Mumbai. Pani Sudhanshu. His thesis topic is Microstructure on the Information Content of Quotes and Continuous Auctions in Order-Driven Markets. And Rawat Seema. Her thesis topic is Performing Collectivization, Mobile Work and Resistance. Thank you, sir. I request Professor Papiade to take over the proceedings.
Thank you, Dr. Joshipura. I quote Thomas Alva Edison as I say, opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overalls and looks like work. And the students who are now going to grace the stage certainly didn't shy away from hard work and grabbed the opportunity to be in the Dean's list. Ladies and gentlemen, I now request Dr. Chandrama Segdar, Associate Dean, Program and Student Learning, to take over the proceedings.
Nominee of Honorable Chancellor, Shri Shalin Devetia, I present before you the students who, on the basis of their CGPA, has been declared eligible for Dean's List 2022-2023 in MBA, MBA Human Resources, and MBA Pharmaceutical Management programs. I request nominee of Honorable Chancellor Shri Shalin Devetia to kindly hand over the degrees to the students I request Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Ramesh Bhatt and Dean SBM Dr. Prashant Mishra to join him, please. Krishnan Anand. Kannan Vishwanath. Bolisetti Bihari. Khandelwal Kavita. Varghese Ann. Kariwala Harshvardhan. K. Prateep Kumar. Praveen Nahida. Jotwani Rishika. Sethi Devin. Kumar Mohit. Garg Toesh. Rao Sachet. Jhawar Simran. Sorathia Nanesh. Rastogi Parv. Vamshi G. Hunje Neha. Patel Dhrumen. Sagar Divyesh. Mehta Kunal. Bhatnagar Satyansh. Garg Jayashri. Gupta Yashi. Mohan Priyanka. Bedi Sakshat. Gupta Ainesh. Sharma Anuj. Thakur Shivam. Verma Nikhil. Arora Kanan. Tukral Yashika. Narayanan Manek. Yadav Tejas. This is Tejas for us. Das Argha. Rati Mayank. Sharma Mansi. Jain Priyanshi. Goel Amber. Talreja Meghna. Tripathi Rituja. Dhingra Dhanishta. Mishra Himadri. Shedgar Sneha. Agrawal Shivangi. Doda Shivam. Satija Rohan. Ganguli Diptesh. Singh Amit. Dean's List MBA Human Resources Program. Malani Shitij. Reddy T. Prateek. Chaudhary Shreya. Choksi Forum. Katti Ajay. Kaur Japlin. Patel Parul. Jha Vanshaj Kumar. K. Akshaya. Pandey Pranjal. Sarin Simran. Keep the applause flowing, please. Dean's List MBA Pharmaceutical Management Program. Parashar Nimisha. Varhadi Leena. Panchal Divya. Ghosh Riyan. Dalvi Tanvi. Sharma Shubham. Rajput Diksha. Paliwal Aprajita. Patil Saurav. Das Vinita. Thank you so much. That completes the Dean's list. Nominee of Honorable Chancellor, 4 students of PhD program, starting with Sudhanshu Pani, 578 students of MBA program, starting with Reddy Bilakurti Rama Soryai, 120 students of MBA Human Resources, starting with Anand, and 92 students of Pharmaceutical Management, starting with Maheshwari Basu, have successfully completed the program. I request Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Ramesh Bhatt, to administer the oath on all who are present here and have been permitted to remain absent. I request all students to please rise for the oath and keep standing till the degree is conferred.
By virtue of the power vested in me by the Board of Management of SVKM's NMIMS as Vice Chancellor, I hereby declare all of you who are present and those who are permitted to remain absent are admitted to the respective degrees. I hereby charge you to uphold the dignity and the value of the degree awarded to you by this university in your life and profession. I request our nominee of the Honorable Chancellor, Shri Shalin Divetia ji, to confer the...
May I now request Dr. Ashish Daptardar, Registrar in Charge, to present the register of the successful graduates to the nominee of the Honorable Chancellor, Shri Shalin Divetia, for his signature. Thank you, sir. May I now request our chief guest, Honorable Shri Shrikant Subramanian, to release the roster of events, the convocation brochure, and the latest issue of the NMIMS Management Review. Thank you, sir, and all the dignitaries on the dais. Thank you. Talking about success in this age of diversity, equity, and inclusion, who better to quote than American drag queen RuPaul, whose powerful words go like this: "The secret of success in every field is redefining what success means to you. It can't be your parents' definition, the media's definition, or your neighbor's definition. Otherwise, success will never satisfy you. To recognize the excellence and hard work of the students at the School of Business Management, I would now like to call upon our Dean, Dr. Prashant Mishra, to announce the much-awaited awards. I request our chief guest for the day, Mr. Shrikant Subramanian, and nominee of the Honorable Vice-Chancellor, Shri Shalin Devetia, to kindly give away the awards and scholarships. I also invite Honorable Vice-Chancellor Dr. Ramesh Bhatt to join them.
It's my privilege and pleasure to announce the awards and the ranks for the scholastic performance. First, the MBA program for the batch 21-23. Rank 3 goes to Simran Jhawar. Award for the rank 2 is to Kariwala Harshvardhan. And the rank 1, Krishnan Anand. Krishnan Anand. For MBA Human Resources batch 21-23, rank 3, G. Pooja Manoj. The second rank, Reddy T. Pratik. An award for first rank to Kshitiz Malani. For MBA Pharmaceutical Management, batch 21-23, rank 2 to Leena Varhadi. Rank 1, Nimisha Parashar. Chancellor's Gold Medal for the Best All-Round Student Performance for the year in MBA program, Rituja Tripathi. Vice Chancellor's Gold Medal for the student scoring highest CGPA over 6 terms in MBA program, Krishnan Anand. Gold Medal and Certificate of Honor for Overall Excellence and Leadership instituted by MMS class of 1981-83 in memory of Mr. Salius Kharkar goes to Manik Narayanan. Gold Medal and Award, Information Technology, Academics and Overall in memory of Dr. Chirag Unadkat for MBA program, Krishnan Anand. Late Professor Pratap Vijayanand Shirur Silver Medal and a cash award for scoring the highest marks in the subject of investment and portfolio management goes to Meghna Talreja. Dun & Bradstreet Award for the Best Student in the MBA program for the year, Priyanshi Jain. Professor Y.K. Jamwar, NMIMS Alumni Association Trophy for Best Organizer of the Year for all full-time programs, and it jointly goes to Prakriti Tiwari and Amber Goyal. Easy. Certificate of Honor for the Best Student across all full-time MBA programs for consistent academic performance and contribution towards student activities for the year. Ronak Jain. Certificate of Honor in recognition of consistent academic performance and contribution to students' activities in MBA core program for the year, Anand Krishnan. Chancellor's Gold Medal for the Best All-Round Student Performance for the year in MBA Human Resources Program, Ritika Mishra. Yeah, please go ahead.
This award is for my mother. I love you, Ma.
Trophy of Honor in recognition of consistent academic performance and contribution to the students' activity in MBA Human Resources for the year, G. Pooja Manoj. SBM Distinction Award for MBA Human Resources, Kshitij Malani. SBM Leader in the Making Award for MBA Human Resources, Shubhankar. SBM Outstanding Student Award for MBA Human Resources, K. Akshaya. Certificate of Honor in recognition of consistent academic performance and contribution to students' activities in MBA Pharmaceutical Management for the year, Ridhima Batra. An award for outstanding performance in the field of sports, Satyansh Bhatnagar. So, sirs, we had the tradition of recognizing our faculty and staff's contribution in the form of several awards, which this year we are doing the same for last 4 academic years, as for last 3 years we haven't done for the pandemic years. And I'll start with the staff awards first. Best staff awards for this year, or for the year 2019-20, goes to Cheryl Montario and Sanjay Pai. Sanjay Pai. Sanjay. Come, Sanjay. For the year 2021, and remember that was the year when, literally all hell broke loose for all of us. Ashwini Dighe, Smita Kadam, and Pinky Shah. Pinky Shah. Here. You send all 3 together. Your naam padh ke de देंगे. Smita, come. For the year 2021-22, Dattatreya Korgaonkar, Parag Sarvaiya, and Aurelia D'Souza. Come. Parag, come. Come. For the year 2022-23, Meenal Malankar, Pratiksha Takawale, and Rajni Deshmukh. आ जाओ इधर। Now to my faculty colleagues, and there are 4 categories actually, 3 for the faculty and 1 for the department. And I'll start with the Teaching Excellence Awards. For the year 2019-20, it goes to Professor Vijayini Patnaik. For the year 2020-2021, it goes to Professor Papia De. For the year 2021-22, it goes to Professor Arun Sharma. For the year 2022-23, it goes to Professor Madhavi Gokhale. The second category is the best research publications, and this award is only being given for last 2 years. For year 2021-22, it is jointly awarded to Professor Preeti Nayal and Sayantan Khanra. For the year 2022-23, it goes jointly to Professor Abhinav Sharma and Professor Rose Anthony. And now the Best Faculty Award. For the 2019-20, it goes to Professor Ashu Sharma. For 2020-21, it goes to Professor Hari Iyer. For single-handedly leading the MBA pharmaceutical program during COVID times. For 2021-22, it goes to Professor Samveg Patel. Give them a big hand. And for the year 22-23, Professor Mayank Joshipura. And now to the departments, and I'll call out subsequently all 4 departments who are receiving the honor being the best academic area for the year. For 2019-20, it is Human Resources and Behavioral Science area. For 2020-21, it's the Communications area. I would request members of the area to come over. Human Resources and Business Behavioral Science. For 2021, it's the Communication area. Go quickly. So communications area for 2020-21. For 2021 and 22, it is marketing area. Come quickly, please. Arun, आ जाओ. Arun, आ जाओ. And any guesses for this year's best year? It goes to finance area. So thank you very much. Now for the most prestigious part of the event, I request Professor Papia Day to take over.
Thank you, Dr. Mishra. Thank you, Dr. Bhatt, Sri Shalin Devetia, and Sri Shrikant Subramanian for doing the honors. And though I feel a little silly saying this, heartiest congratulations to all the awardees. Ladies and gentlemen, we now move to a very prestigious segment of today's ceremony, the Distinguished Alumnus Award. And for that, may I request Dr. Amrita Bansal, Chairperson, Alumni Relations Cell, to take over the proceedings.
Thank you, Professor Papia Day. The Distinguished Alumnus Award is conferred annually on illustrious members of SBM's alumni body for their extraordinary contributions to the corporate world and society at large. To confer the award, I invite Dr. Mishra and Mr. Devatia on the stage, please. May I request the student representative to escort, and I also call sir, please. Sorry. May I request the student representative to escort Ms. Ashu Gupta on stage to receive the award of Distinguished Alumna for the year 2023. Ms. Ashu Gupta is an alumnus of the MMS Marketing Program 1987 batch. Currently, she is the Vice President of Supply Chain at Koei Pharmaceuticals Private Limited. Ms. Gupta has successfully navigated the domain of the outbound supply chain for 35 years, beginning at a time when it was considered challenging, particularly for a woman. She has rich domain experience in procurement and planning, inventory management, and inbound and outbound logistics, and she was earlier Associate VP of Distribution and Logistics at Mail in India. She was also invited as a speaker at Pharma Supply Chain Summit at Colombo, Sri Lanka in December 2012. Ms. Gupta has notable contributions to academia and has mentored several CEO-level professionals. Undoubtedly, Ms. Gupta has brought great honor and recognition to the SBM NMIMS family, and we are deeply proud of her illustrious achievements. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Ashu Gupta. Ma'am, I would request if you can just speak like some words for the encouragement. No, just for a second. Yeah.
It's an honor to receive this award, and I was just remembering in 1985 when the premises prior to this new building, we were the first batch to move into those premises, and during the interview, when I was a little unsure of whether I should join NMIMS, Dr. Bhushan and Professor Zamwar sent me on a round of the premises to influence me to join. And I must say that it was a decision that was the most right decision in my life, and it's been an honor. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for taking that decision, ma'am. Next, may I request the student representative to escort Mr. Jatin Dalal on the stage to receive the award of Distinguished Alumnus of the Year 2023. Mr. Jatin Dalal is the alumnus of PGDBA Finance Program 1999 batch. Currently, he is the President and Chief Financial Officer at Wipro Limited, and and is on the board of Premji Azim Foundation, India Private Limited. Mr. Dalal is also on the NYSE listed company advisory board at New York Stock Exchange. Mr. Dalal has been awarded as CFO of the Year in CII CFO Excellence Award 2021 across industries. Mr. Dalal led the development and complete setup of Wipro's internal shared service division and helped win the coveted Institutional Investor Award for Best IR Function in India during his time in corporate treasury. Before joining Wipro, Mr. Dalal was part of the prestigious financial management program of General Electric, where he was a Global Corporate Honors Awardee. Not only Mr. Dalal's professional and social accomplishments are remarkable, but they have had a significant positive impact on the broader community and NMIMS School of Business Management community as well. Undoubtedly, Mr. Jatin Dalal has brought great honor and recognition to his alma mater, and we are deeply proud of your all the achievements. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jatin Dalal.
First of all, thank you very much for the recognition. I must say God is kind. That's the first and last point. But I will say, like many of you, I came to NM with 2 jeans, 4 t-shirts, and little bit of intellectual arrogance of being from NIT Surat. But nothing could have prepared me better to take on a global assignment with GE, where I started my career, except if it was not NMIMS, it would not have been that journey. So thank you very much. Two professors, particularly Professor Dajbawala, who's now in Bay Area, and Professor Sirur, who's no more, he taught us how to see finance very differently from accounting. So very grateful to him. And overall NMIMS. Lastly, I think deep education also came at 1:30 at night in hostel, looking for that last pub which will be open at that point in time. So very grateful to my friends who made me what I am. Thank you very much. And again, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dalal. Now may I request the student representative to escort Mr. Sorin Shah on the stage to receive the award of Distinguished Alumnus for the year 2023. Mr. Sorin Shah is an alumnus of MMS Marketing Program 1999 batch. Currently, he heads the Consumer and Market Insights function globally at Godrej Consumer Product Limited. He is also responsible for strategic partnering with the business across all regions in which GCPL operates. In a career spanning 24 rich years, Mr. Shah has been head of CMI at Vodafone, where he was responsible for consumer insights across corporate and all circles for all verticals at Vodafone. Mr. Shah has extensively worked in multiple markets like Mumbai, Dubai, Cairo, and Moscow in various roles. His experience spreads across a wide range of sectors, including FMCG, telecom, automotive, finance, banking, luxury goods, and for both quantitative and qualitative insights during his foundational stints in TNS. Mr. Sorin has brought great honor to the NMIMS School of Business Management community, and we are very proud of your achievements, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sorin Shah.
Hello. It is a great honor to come and stand over here and receive these awards. And you are the future that I see 25 years later, you will be coming and standing over here. I'm going to actually talk about one question that Dr. Mishra spoke about. How do you keep yourself relevant to the changing times? I'm sure you've heard this line before, the only constant in life is change. When I started my career, we used to use overhead projectors. There was only one laptop for the full company. There were no individual emails that we had. And from there, today, we've reached DALL-E and ChatGPT. And the way I have stayed in times with these changes is I've reappointed my teachers in life. So my son is here today who teaches me about DALL-E and ChatGPT. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to invite Professor Papia De to take over the further proceedings.
May I now request our Dean, Dr. Mishra, to introduce the chief guest for the day.
It's my privilege and pleasure to introduce one of our illustrious alumnus, Srikanth Subramanian, Chief Executive Officer of Kotak Cherry. Srikanth joined Kotak Mahindra Bank group in 2001, and in last 2 decades and more with Kotak, he has worked across businesses and functions including insurance, private banking, global wealth management, and investment advisory. He is currently part of the core leadership team at Kotak Investment Advisors Limited, and also leading Kotak Cherry, which is a curated tech-led investment management platform which caters to the investment needs of the retail investor. Prior to Kotak Cherry, Srikanth was heading the private wealth investment advisory practice at Kotak Investment Advisor Limited, and his key role involved growing the advisory business at Kotak Investment Advisors Limited. And he was also having a board position on the same firm. He has in the past led business development across North and West regions, product and investment research, international business, including global wealth management, family office, and business strategy group at Kotak Private Banking. Srikanth was a member of the working group on SEBI, Portfolio Managers Regulation in 2020. He's a graduate from Delhi University and has done his master's MBA from Narsimhanji Institute of Management Studies, Mumbai. Ladies and gentlemen, Srikanth Subramanian.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. And firstly, congratulations to each one of you who's both graduating today with a degree, and to all the award receivers. It's also very humbling because I stand in front of some of my seniors, and also to stand there and give awards to professors who sort of shaped up to who we are. I don't think I've done anything more humbling in my life. And as Soren mentioned that his teacher is sitting right next to him, my teacher was sound asleep when I left home, my 11-year-old daughter. And she had 2 messages to give me. She said, Papa, don't wear suits if you want to sound cool when you go and address this badge. And she said, your benchmark is to be what Taylor Swift delivered her convocation speech. Except don't keep it that long. So I'll stick to what Zoe mentioned. But listen, Mrs. Gupta mentioned that when she joined, the campus that she moved in was a new campus. I think when I joined, that campus was the old campus and this was coming in. So I was just telling Dr. Bhatt just before the ceremony that this is what we call uber luxury. This is ultra luxury. For us, the days when we used to feel very good, we would graduate from the Dena Bank canteen or Cooper canteen to at best a Rasraj or Salt and Pepper. Salt and Pepper is now what is the parking lot in front of Old Centaur. I think the memory is that we always thought that we had 2 lives in NM, the life on campus and the life in hostel. And I cherish each and every hour that we've spent. I think life in campus was as fun as anyone can imagine. I think Jatin mentioned his interaction with Dr. Sirur. I mean, anyone who's been taught by Dr. Sirur can never forget, right? I mean, he would sneak into the campus, spend time with us at odd hours. He used to stay in Malabar Hill. He would take some of the students with him to Malabar Hill. He would do things which I can't mention here because that's where what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Idiom comes in. But outstanding memories. I think we've organized Parampara, we've organized Euphoria. We've been there. We've done everything. My wife, who's also an NM alumnus. And I remember how she had got her summers in Pepsi, and Pepsi did not come to the campus that year for final placements, and there were just last few slots, and she at that time was still not my wife, and I was fiercely protecting her when Bennett Coleman was there, and I think they wanted two people, and there were two rival camps trying to protect their candidates who would go first for the interview, and it was amazing, right? And I had done my summers in a company called MTV, and that was the time. And I was very clear that that's my future. I didn't think that one day I'll be in a serious company like Kotak doing finance and risk management and credit and whatnot. But that was also the time when Cyrus Brocha used to run MTV Bakra, if any of you remember. And very famously, if you go to YouTube, we did a MTV Bakra on NMIMS campus during Euphoria. In fact, it was one of our colleagues, he didn't realize that he was the Bakra that Cyrus chose. And we made a live Bakra, and it was shot and telecast on MTV during my summer. And it was great fun. And I thought, that's it. I knew that MTV won't come to campus. And that was also the time when Kaun Banega Crorepati was a big hit, right? And so my dream company that time was Sony. And I thought that that's what it is. And I applied to only one company. And as a backup, because it was supposed to be day 1, 6:30 slot. And that time we said, day 1, 6:30 to kaun rukega? Day 0 mein khatam ho jayenge hum log to. So, and there used to be this dream company concept, and all of that used to happen. And I said, Sony ho jayega. And day 1, as a backup, just in case kuch nahi mila, to ek little known NBFC hoti thi, Kotak Mahindra Finance Limited. So I just put my name in that if nothing happens, we'll get that. And now that I know Kotak very well, I've just spent 22 years in Kotak. Kotak would have pulled a few strings. Kotak would have pulled a few strings, and instead of coming day 1, while their slot was day 1, they managed to come day 0 early morning. And I said, ye kya hua? So anyways, I said, I'll go, and my dream company is still, I thought my dream company was Sony, yeah. I'll do it. And finally, 6 candidates got shortlisted to Kotak. I still remember Kotak's group discussion topic 22 years ago. The topic was, in a fiercely competitive market, bottom line matters more than top line. I said, what sounds right? What do they want to hear? I said, bottom line. And 22 years later, I can tell you, I was the only person they could have given a job, because Kotak is all about bottom line. And Six of us got selected to the final round. 5 of them went before me, and each one of them, when they would come out, and all of them are dear friends in different parts of industry today. 5 of them walked out, and I said, "Kya pucha?" He said, "Are you a thinker or are you a doer?" I bola, "Kya bola?" All 5 said, "I'm a thinker." I bola, "Bas, I'll go ahead." And the gentleman who asked me that question, are you a thinker or are you a doer? And I very proudly said, I'll be the different one and I'll be a doer, is still my boss 22 years later. He is on the board of Kotak, and his media reports is to be believed. He should soon get a very important position, Mr. Manian. So worked with him for 22 years. And just because I gave that answer that I'm a doer, my posting was made as the truck finance guy in Salem, Tamil Nadu, because you're a doer, go and recover auto loans. मैं बोला, boss, डूअर बोला मतलब ये थोड़ा ना कि सेलम में जाकर के ट्रक वालों के साथ में फाइनेंस रिकवर करने का है. Anyways, that happened. And my joining date was 1st January 2001. The placements happened on 2nd January 2001. And around 30th of May, which is 2 days before I left, and the only stint I've ever spent outside of Delhi was my 2 years in NM. So all my friends, people were getting emotional. We had a farewell party. Just about a week ago, I just casually made a request to Kotak, saying that I would really want a stint in life insurance, because that was the time when India privatized life insurance in 2001. Till 2001, it was only LIC. And in 2001, India once again, after mid-50s and 60s, privatized life insurance company. And I just put in a request saying that, listen, it's a sunrise industry. I would want to get a chance. And while I was at this party and all my friends were going hugely emotional, writing messages on T-shirts and everything, I get a message saying that your message has been approved, and instead of Salem Truck Finance, you have to go and join Delhi office, Kotak Life Insurance. Now I said, yaar, itna ro rahe hain ye log. How do I tell them I'm not going? Because I'm in Delhi, and the entire thing is happening, the whole farewell. So I decided that whole farewell, knowing fully well that the next day I'm again going to be back in Delhi, I go through the farewell and then join Delhi, and the rest, as they say, is history. But you know, well, all of us who passed out will say the same, but passing out of NM was, I think, prepared us for almost everything that life has to offer. Even today, and I was sharing with Dr. Bhatt that most of the people, and we had a fairly large diaspora in Kotak, alumnus of NM from 95 to 2000, 2001, and even each year now, 2017, 18 onward included, there are a lot of people. And I think there are certain skills that stick out. I mean, we are very practical, we are street smart, we're street fighters, we sort of understand more than theory, we apply ourselves very practically to the business applications. And those are really some of the common trends and applications that I find across most of us who have been in the corporate world for a fairly long period of time. I think a couple of things that did well for me, it may or may not do well for you because times are changing and changing very fast, but I think for me, it was like a toss of a coin. It's almost surreal to believe that when I joined, there were two management trainees. I was from NM, the other guy was IM Cal, I remember. And the insurance had two businesses, the tied agency business, which is what LIC model was, the development officer, you recruit insurance agent. And the other was bank assurance and corporate agents, you go and recruit banks to sell insurance for you. And we didn't know anything, and there were these two heads sitting, and they looked at each other, tujhe kaun chahiye, and I just got tossed on to one guy, and one guy got tossed on to this gentleman. And sometimes just the toss of a coin changes your life. I mean, the first guy turned out to be a very left-brain thinker, came from LIC, was not prepared to reinvent himself, and the management trainee who joined under that gentleman obviously did not survive because he came more dreamy-eyed. I joined somebody who was a little more right-brained, slightly more old Kotak culture. I found a mentor without seeking one. And I think one of the things that I do very consciously is when folks like yourselves join us, and I'm not trying to sort of overdo ourselves here, but if you can find, instead of, well, the organizations are doing a lot to give each one of us a mentor, but be a little smart to find that mentor. I think one of them mentioned as well that don't wait for it. And you will find in an organization, there are people with whom you resonate, there are people with whom you will feel the vibe that these are people with whom you can grow very fast. And I think be very selfish, be very brutal to seek that person out in an organization and go and attach yourself to that mentor. That worked very well for me. I think most of the people mentioned, I think if you can, pick this book called 100-Year Life, written by two London School of Economists. It's funny, right? I mean, not too long ago, our average life expectancy used to be late 60s, early 70s. In France, US, the life expectancy is 75, 80 now, which means many of you who will pass out will be anywhere between 20 and 23. I'm just making an average example of people without work ex. There will be some exception, which typically will mean that we will work anywhere between 35, 40 years. And if the old life expectancy were to be true, we would have had to work for 35, 40 years to maintain a standard of living and quality of life for the next 15, 20 years. Well, guess what? The maths has just changed. Advancement in medical sciences, advancement in technology, advancement in general awareness of keeping oneself healthy, both mentally and physically, means the equation changes from we working for 40 years to preserve ourselves for the next 40 years. So obviously the mathematics doesn't hold good, and we fortunately or unfortunately are not fully developed in terms of a first world country where social systems are enough to carry on the quality of life, which means fine, first year, second year, salaries will come, we will udaw a little because the first time we are going to feel liberated with our own salaries. Do all of that. Do get your first car, get your first Apple Watch, get your first Air Jordans, do whatever you wish to do. But remember this, that very soon life will come calling, and you'll have to have a pretty long longevity in terms of how you maintain yourself. And there are 2, 3 smaller nuances to it. There's the whole financial nuance to it. There is also the skill nuance to it. If my dad, who was also a banker for 35 years, in the last 5 years had to struggle learning PCs and learning typing on a keyboard, I think many of us are coming up the curve, learning how APIs work and how different facets of digital economy sort of works. So I think while you guys move forward, there will be newer skills that will be required. And I completely agree with Dr. Mishra when he says that it's always been there, except that the cycles of change have shortened that much more. So I think it will be extremely, extremely important for each one of us to continue to upskill and reskill in terms, and it could be anything. It could be a reskill outside of your core domain. It could be a reskill of a skill that is nothing to do with what you're doing. I mean, I picked up a musical instrument, I picked up sport fairly late. It could be because it'll hold me healthy when we grow up. Somebody picked up coding because they think that they will pivot. Now, after being CEO for one of India's largest wealth management firms in India, Kotak, and we run about $40 billion of assets under management, and running offices in New York, London, Dubai, Mauritius, the role that I'm running is I'm from being one of the youngest in the wealth management firm, I'm now the oldest in the digital firm. I now spend my entire day with median age of 2021 because the entire set of engineers, coders, my UI UX colleagues, my designer fraternity are all 21, 22. And from moving into management committee meetings and board meetings where everyone else was 55, 56 and I was 39, 40, now at 43, I'm that elephant in the room and the others are the one who are sort of coming up. So one of the things that at least helped me was to keep pushing oneself outside that comfort zone. And on one hand, it looks like I haven't switched jobs for the last 22 years. The way I look at it, I have at least done 6 different jobs in the last 22 years. We call Kotak a one-way street. You can get in, but you can't get out. It's like Hotel California, right? I mean, you can check out any time, but you can never leave. So, but it's amazing, right? I mean, just 2 years ago, I went and said, I want to branch out, move into an entrepreneurial role. And because of our stint in wealth management, we could put out some capital raise, and there were some people who were ready to back us. And Kotak said, instead of an entrepreneur, turn an intrapreneur. That, like your idea, we also want to do it. Why don't you come and do this in Kotak? And we'll fund it. Now, when I look back and see how funding winter has completely capitulated the entire ecosystem, it's one of the best decisions that I took. So, but it only happened if you go challenge yourself, push yourself. And I knew nothing of digital. I think when we were in wealth, we thought having a Facebook and a Twitter handle was being digitally savvy. And little did we know that the whole world was changing it at such a rapid pace. Now, the last 1 year, the amount of skill that a lot of us imbibed, I think will hold us good for the next 15, 20 years of career left in front of us. The other thing that I feel, and I see over the last 4 or 5 years when many of us join for the first time, is there is limited amount of getting your hands dirty. When I joined, I used to travel all the way to Raipur, to Bhilai, to Jain, to Indore, to all the cities, and used to personally punch insurance transactions, because at that time, that's the way it is. Technology was still not very advanced. There was still no, our median salaries were 1/10 of what the median salaries now is. So there was no option but for you to sort of rise up organically. Many of us who are now coming in, seemingly are coming in 2 or 3 levels up, which is great. And I think there's no grudge of how we are joining. Everyone needs to sort of come up the curve. But how can you quickly find a way to get your hands dirty is going to be very crucial. And it's across the field, it's across finance, it's across marketing. Very quickly you need to reach what is the lowest common denominator work in your organization for you to quickly get that empathy for your co-workers and to tomorrow get that inspiration for people who are going to be part of your team. One advice, and I hate advice, it sounds very preachy, but went with me, so I'll share it. It's also the time where a lot of you are going to lose focus on both physical and mental health. I mean, for me, I used to play a lot of sports. In fact, that reminds me, for the first time I did something which I never thought I'll do. I just passed on the award to the best sportsman who is a Real Madrid fan, and I as a Barca fan never thought that I'm ever going to do that. But yeah, maybe that's the love for NM that I have. But I put on 25 kgs after I left NM, and that's classic corporate, right? You would take flights. I had a point of time used to take 3 flights every week, which is 6, because I used to hate staying in different cities, so I'll always come back, even if it means coming back at 12:30, 1, 2. Life was at 5th gear. You were enjoying staying at cool 5 stars, going to great meetings, the life of a corporate. But very soon you realize, you'll call it midlife crisis, you'll call it reckoning, you'll call it whatever, and it happened with me because 4 years ago in Bandra, one of my friends' kids had a football party, and we all friends met and we said, "Chalo, hum bhi football khelte hain." And 2 weeks of us playing football, I had a knee capitulation, somebody had an elbow gone, somebody had a groin injury. And we said, "Yaar, ye to ho nahi sakta." And then we went to a physio. He said, "Boss, the only thing that you all need to do is just lose some weight and get back to healthy." And I lost all the 23 kgs in the last 2 years of COVID. But it took time. It took time to realize. And I'm not blaming corporate. I'm not blaming anyone. It's your own inner conscious. And you owe it to yourself. You owe it to your family. You owe it to your parents. You owe it to your wife. You owe it to your husband. You owe it to your kids to give them a healthy, both mentally healthy and a physically healthy yourself. So it's one thing that I see many of us slip through. And I think you have to be selfish to put your hand out and say, I wish to remain both physically and mentally active for as long as I can. Last 2 things from my side. I think enough has been said. I think and we were just discussing before this session, just the way at a point of time, language, the way we know, whether it's Hindi, whether it's English, was horizontal skill, irrespective of what we pick as our vocation or profession. Technology is now a horizontal skill. You cannot fathom to be in a profession relevant for very long if you do not have horizontal skill of technology. You may require very limited technology intervention, or you may require very strong deep tech domain. But if you do not understand how 2 systems can integrate, or if you don't understand how a coder behaves, like for example, each time I recruit a coder, I tell my HR guy, I said, "Boss, I'm putting you in front of him. Do not scare him away by asking him soft skill question, because coders do not come with soft skill. Now it requires time. They're binary people. You're not recruiting coders to come together for exhibiting soft skill. You're recruiting coders to write some of their best codes for you as a firm." So I think at least get that, even if that interest is not there, but I think it is going to soon become a very existential horizontal skill across whatever you do that will be required. And last, I think one of the idioms that never worked for me is jack of all trades, master of none. I think jack of all trades still work, even if I'm a master of none, but I think being jack of all trades, knowing about a lot of things. I mean, for 15, 18 years when I used to run private wealth as a or I was part of private wealth as an industry, we would meet investors with corpuses of $1 billion, 200 crores, 300 crores, and many more. Most of what held me in good stead is an overall curiosity of different topics of knowledge. And very soon, one of my mentors in Kotak told me that you are in the knowledge industry. Do not become over sales in your approach, because many of you, you'll go out joining FMCG, joining financial services, joining durables, joining technology. But one skill that is going to be overrated by your superiors is hard skill of sales, which is good, which is what will lead to profitability. But do not forget that domain skill is what will create you to be relevant for a very long period of time. And I feel that in my industry, very few people come with very, very high skill of financial domain. And if you become a very all-round, versatile individual, no matter what you do, you will always have outstanding communication ability with people around you, with your clients, with your B2B partners, with your D2C partners, with your vendors. And it's a skill that will always remain with you. Do not become a frog in the well where you're so deeply entrenched into what you're supposed to do. If you're a CMO, CFO, CEO, tech, HR, think and grow beyond it. Take interest. So many times I go into these meetings where the moment a topic of HR moves out, the HR guy is back in their phones and looking at offer releases. And I would tell them, why don't you pay interest? I mean, it's also industry. Similarly, a sales guy would lose interest the moment HR will start and talk about bell curve, etc. I think keep that mindset open as much as you can. You just don't know what is the next opportunity that life is knocking on your door. So with all of those, I do intermittent fasting, so 16 hours, even though Shalin Bhai today made me break that, but I'm still hungry, so I'm assuming so are all of you. So I think last words from me. Best of luck, congratulations, and hopefully some of us will cross paths as we all move forward. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for those invaluable words. I'm sure each one of us is going to go back informed and inspired to downplay, as John Keats would call it, the egotistical sublime, and roll up our sleeves and get our hands dirty. Thank you, sir. It's rarely that the rigor and humor matches, and this time I think the convocation speech is going to go down in NMIMS history as one of the most entertaining ones. Thank you, sir, once again. May I now request Dr. Sharad Maiskar, Pro Vice Chancellor, SVKMs and NMIMS, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to you all. Chief guest for the SBM convocation, Mr. Srikanth Subramaniam, CEO Kotak Cherry, Sri Shalin Bhai Diwatia, Honorary Joint Secretary, SVKM, and Mentor NMIMS, Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Ramesh Bhatt, members of the Managing Committee, Trustees SVKM, Senior Functionaries of SVKM, Dean SBM Dr. Prashant Mishra, my colleague PVC NMIMS, Dr. Meena Chintamanani, Dr. Ashish Daptardar, In charge Registrar, Deans, Head of the institutions, faculty colleagues and staff, distinguished alumni, Mrs. Gupta, Mr. Dalal and Mr. Shah, graduating batch students, proud parents, ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege to propose a vote of thanks for the convocation ceremony of the flagship program of NMIMS, the MBA programs. This ceremony marks a new beginning in the lives of the graduating students, and I'm sure that the words of our chief guests offering memories of NMIMS to all of you, and memories which have been very helpful and prepared him for life, his quest to find a good mentor, and his urge to upskill and reskill again and again, and his other thoughts will be embedded in the minds of the graduating students forever. Thank you, Mr. Subramaniam, for sparing your valuable time for the convocation, addressing and motivating the graduating students. We at NMIMS are also thankful to Sri Shalin Diwatia for gracing the occasion as a nominee of the Honorable Chancellor. The tireless efforts put in by the Dean, Associate Deans, faculty and staff of the school and their teams are clearly seen in the conduct of the convocation. Registrar, his entire admin team have worked tirelessly to ensure that the convocation takes place smoothly with dignity and grace. I wish to acknowledge their effort. I wish to also acknowledge and thank the contribution of faculty, students and staff in the success of this program. Before I end, I wish to mention one quote of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, who was the chief guest for one of our NMIMS convocation. And he said, if these 4 things are followed, having a great aim, acquiring knowledge, hard work and perseverance, then anything can be achieved. In fact, this quote defines the spirit with which all of you graduates should embark on your career. I wish graduating students all the best in their careers. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Masker. Ladies and gentlemen, may I now request all of you to rise for the national anthem. Oh. May I now, before we play the national anthem, I request Dr. Ashish Daptadar to request our honorable nominee of the Honorable Chancellor, Shri Shalin Devetia, to declare the convocation closed.
I request Shri Shalin Devetia, nominee of Honorable Chancellor of SVKM's NMIMS University, to declare Convocation 2023 closed.
I declare the Convocation 2023 closed.
Please play the national anthem. I request you all to remain standing till the academic procession leaves the auditorium. Dear students, today as you walk as proud graduates, remember that this is just the beginning. The world is your oyster, and the only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. I wish you enriching experiences in the school of life and congratulate each one of you from the bottom of my heart. I also congratulate your parents. It's your special day today. Cherish it. Thank you once again and welcome formally to the NMIMS alumni family. Please note, I I know all of you are hungry, so the arrangements for lunch have been made just outside the auditorium. Thank you.